If you're a deep thinker who loves complexity and nuance and feels like it's a really fucking lonely experience in this world because it seems like no one wants to use their critical thinking skills, and you start to get really like, what the fuck? Am I the only person who cares about this? Here's a shift that I made because I am and was one of those people. But a shift that I made that made all the difference in the world, that made the world feel far less lonely, is I realized that my judgment around other people, because it is actually judgment, that other people only want to have the small talk and I don't, that other people can't handle complexity and I can, that other people don't know how to deal with nuance because they're not willing to, navigate their emotional experience, but I am. Like, a lot of that shit is all judgment, and judgment happens when we are defending against something, when we feel not whole about something. And for you, it might be a different reason why, but for me, it was like loneliness. I was realizing how alone I felt in a world when I wanted to have conversations that were deep and meaningful and had detail and intricacies and explored the like messiness of life. And a lot of people don't want to go there because it's uncomfortable. And essentially it came down to the fact that I was feeling deeply alone in a world where I'm like, why aren't people more like me? Like, why can't I find my people? And at the core of it, I was basically taking this approach of critiquing the world around me and my environment, even if, let's say it's true. Let's say I'm right that people can't hang in the deep end the way that I can, as elitist and judgmental as that sounds, and as arrogant as that sounds. Let's say that's true. The thing is, you still have to live in this world. And what I was realizing is my loneliness, my sense of aloneness, that I wasn't going to find my people, that I was going to be stuck in these like meaningless conversations forever, that I could never explore the depth and the nuance that I wanted to explore, basically was a sadness. There's a loss. There's a grief around that maybe I won't find my people, that I won't feel the sense of connection and belonging that I want, that my intellectual, emotional capacity will never be explored. But they exist. I don't know what is trending, why this is becoming a bigger topic these days, but I've seen a lot of people talk about their loneliness in this, their frustration with this, and it becomes an external critique of our environment, of others, that they're basically not who we want them to be. And so much human suffering, so much human disconnection comes from us being frustrated that other people are not who we want them to be. And once I recognized that that's what I was doing, that I was frustrated that people were not who I wanted them to be, that they couldn't meet me where I was like, oh, I'm kind of being an asshole. Who's like, why can't you come to me? When there are actually people who can meet you where you are. And part of me was like, okay, now I just have to go find them. That's my mission. I need to figure out where they are and find my people. But in the process of seeking, I get really hopeful. I'm like, oh, maybe you're my person. Oh, maybe this could be it. And oftentimes it was disappointing. That's where I started to recognize, oh, this is the gap that I'm feeling. This is the difficult emotional experience that I'm having. How do I flip it? Because in my search for my people, and I will find them, even if they feel few and far between, I found a lot of them now in the world. How can I still make the journey really joyful? And how can I still learn from all these people that I'm interacting with? Because there's no way I don't have something I could learn from them at depth with nuance. And so now I've treated each of these explorations as an adventure, as a learning experience. Because if I'm seeking my person, but I'm getting signals that they're not there, they don't want to go where I want to go, then it's like, okay, where can we go? If I care about learning new things and nuance and depth, where are you willing to go in depth with nuance? What can you teach me? What are your passions? What gets you so excited? What is some crazy life experience that you've had that I can learn from, or I can be entertained by, or something else, right? But if you approach human interaction as not trying to just find those who can meet you where you are, but that you're just navigating in like an adventure together where you're both trying to figure out where you can meet, period, that actually becomes a really joyful experience. It becomes driven by curiosity, by adventure, by the excitement that you could learn something new. And actually, with constraints where you do not have this open space to go anywhere and everywhere, that someone else is constraining you, we know that creativity thrives in constraints, that you don't get all the tools that you need or want. You don't get the perfect environment. So what are you going to do about it? How are you going to cultivate it for yourself? And so once I approached it that way, the world became far less lonely. I didn't feel the gap in where I wanted to be met as deeply. But the thing is not to alleviate the loneliness either. Part of it is that the human experience is a lonely one, or it can be. There will be so many times in life where we will not meet the people that we want to meet, that they will not meet us where we want to be met. And that's part of the challenge of us navigating life and the dynamism that is present in it. This is why people leave small towns. They go seek other spaces. And I've found my people, the ones who can go at depth forever, all over the world. I've met them traveling on vacation, and we've become, I don't know if we'll be lifelong friends, but it seems like we could be. I've met them in business groups. Some of them I've never met in person. We've just had online conversations, and we end up talking for 2-3 hours at a time, and every time flies. I've met them in a supermarket. Recently, I've become friends with an 89-year-old man who loves the ballet, and we've gone on ballet dates together, and we met at the supermarket in the produce aisle. Like, they're everywhere once you approach it as, what adventure can I go on? Rather than, I want to go on a specific adventure. And why can't I find people to go on it with me?